Hey, what's up, guys? Tonight's topic is what Donald Trump understands. Ah, okay, and he has a green view of human nature, and he exploits it surely to a point. Well, Donald Trump has always understood how the war works, or at least how it can be made to work, better than his opponents. Maybe because he has such a quality himself in abundance. His appreciation for human greed, cowardice, and selfishness, and other weaknesses has given him a granted confidence in human corruptibility. Across the decades and throughout his term as a president, that fate has been vindicated for more often than it has been confounded. History isn't kind to the man who holds Mussolini jackets. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas told a society in 2016, explaining why he wasn't endorsing Mr. Trump according to the new book Confidence Man by Maggie Haberman. Yet, Mr. Cruz eventually bent the knee, even though Mr. Trump had attacked his wife, Heidi, so clearly that even a Republican not named Cruz also said he couldn't back him. That Republican Rudy Giuliani would go on to make a bonfire of his reputation in service to Mr. Trump. How could a man who lies so transparently and exhibits such incompetence to be so successful? Respectable people have been asking versions of the question since Mr. Trump was in real estate, and as he moved on to entertainment and politics, or two or three at once. The answer says as much about them, or about all of us, as it does about him. Mr. Haberman of the New York Times and CNN stands out among journalists who have followed Mr. Trump, and not only because has covered him since he was a developer in New York and she was at the New York Post and tabloid. Mr. Haberman has always taken Mr. Trump seriously as someone she writes here. She was sharp and smarter than his critics gave him credit for, possessed of a cerebral instinct that was likely unmatched in American political history. Mr. Haberman makes a particular contribution with this book by describing how the enabling interplay of politics and commerce in the New York of the 1917s and 1918s equipped Mr. Trump with the low expectations and cynical convictions that would carry him so far that racial politics is a zero-sum contest among tribes, that allies as well as enemies must be dominated, that everything in life can be treated as a transaction, that rapidly solving one lie or controversy with the next will tie the media in knots, that celebrity confers power, that not only politicians but even prosecutors are malleable. Yet these same convictions would also carry Mr. Trump only so far. They doomed his presidency after Mr. Trump was elected. James Comey, the FBI director, warned him that a dossier was circulating that alleged Mr. Trump had compromised himself in Russia. New York had doubted Mr. Trump that damaging information was a means of leverage, and so he assumed Mr. Comey was threatening him. Comey was blind to the depths of Trump's paranoia due to his long history of gamesmanship with government officials. Mr. Habermas writes, Mr. Trump would later fire Mr. Comey, with disastrous repercussions for himself. The first exchange set the terms for Mr. Trump's subsequent interaction with intelligence and law enforcement officials, according to Mr. Habermas. Mr. Trump bullied and humiliated senators and generals. You are losers. You are babies, he told American military leaders when they brought him to Pentagon in an attempt to persuade him on the value of the Moss World Order. He could reward servile lawmakers by tossing brand chocolate bars at them, and have the satisfaction of watching as the waves crumble for one. But he found that foreign affairs and even domestic politics couldn't be managed only through bilateral transactions and tactical improvisation, and that his money couldn't buy everything. He was astonished when a New York Democrat he had done it 2 years earlier nevertheless backed his impeachment. Because Mr. Habermas see Mr. Trump in full, she acknowledged the good Trump, the one who would repeatedly shake on psych, friend and be funny and fun to be around, solicitous and engaged. People accustomed to his all caps Twitter persona or to press portrayals were often surprised on meeting him in the White House. He could be calm and charming, but the sight of Mr. Trump was less evidence as his term wore on. During the 2020 campaign, Bill Barr, then the Attorney General, pleaded with Mr. Trump to turn his calm, to persuade people what you're not an asshole. But Mr. Trump insists his core voters want a fighter. Defining deviation down. The meaning about his political base also set limits on Mr. Trump. In 2018, after a 19-year-old man killed 17 people at a Florida high school, he met with parents and students from the school and promised action and gun control. We're going to get it done, he said, and he could have. But he backed away after talking with officials from the National Rifle Association. Mr. Habermas said her subject doesn't have a high opinion of his core supporters. They're fucking crazy, he told his own aides. But as an officer from Queens, he became persuaded in his New York days that the establishment would never accept him, and he wouldn't take the risk of alienating his base by shifting toward the political center. Inevitable confidence men must walk somewhere through paths, as when Mr. Trump magnified his notoriety by questioning whether Barack Obama was born in America. The heart seems to be reminded of all the Trump-era scandals, if only because one suspects we have lost the capacity for shock when, say, a candidate refused to release tax return. Mr. Habermas rightly laments Mr. Trump's influence, writing that he appeared to be ushering in a new era of behavior real expected from politicians. Here the best portrayal of Mr. Trump failed to show if imitated their spouse. He didn't escape his own history, but other Americans certainly still can. Give a leader with the wisdom to build on their strengths rather than prey on their weaknesses. Well, it's all and and I see you the next episode, guys. Good night. Bye bye.